50 years. I can't quite believe it's 50 years since the eco-conscious Wimbledon Common borrowers, the Wombles, shot to fame across the globe.
But it wasn't just their stories about recycling rubbish that captured the hearts of millions. It was their music.
Underground, overground, wombling free. The Wombles of Wimbledon Common are we. Remember you're a Womble. Remember you're a Womble. Remember you're a Womble. Remember you're a Womble. Well, I wish it could be a Wombling Merry Christmas every day. Come on along, get your boots on. The Wombles are on parade.
Well, look, we're thrilled to be joined by Mike Batt, who's the man behind the Wombles hits, to take a look back at their legacy. Morning to you, Mike.
Morning.
Lovely to see you.
Morning.
50 years. Can you quite believe it?
I can't believe I'm here after 50 years. But, you know, I mean, it was so much fun that I can't not remember it. I mean, of course, the expression, remember you're a Womble, people shout it in the street, you know, at me.
Do they?
Remember you're a Womble? I say, yes, I can't forget.
Yeah.
You won't let me forget. But I really enjoy it. I mean, when people say to me in interviews, not unlike this kind of interview, you know, do you ever regret the Wombles because you're supposed to be sort of, you know, wrote Bright Eyes and all the serious stuff and everything. Well, not that Bright Eyes is that serious, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
And I say, no, I couldn't possibly. I mean, my mum made the costumes. My family was... The amount of joy that we just got as people, you know, for just doing this, even though I set out to be, like, a serious musician and everything, and I'd like to think I still am, but it was just such a lot of fun. But to have 3 records in the charts at the same time, which happened in June exactly 50 years ago, so this is exactly the 50th anniversary, that is... You just asked me, do I believe it? No, but we knew at the time that it was special because it was the first time since the Beatles had done it.
Yes, so the Wombles basically were the first ones since the Beatles to have 3 albums at the same time. But just go back, though, Mike, because you didn't create the Wombles, but you got to write the music for the Wombles.
That's right, yeah. I signed as an artist with Liberty Records, and then I left and became freelance, and I was starting to do jingles and stuff to make money on the side while I was trying to become a pop star. And I got this job to write some music for the thing called the Wombles, which was puppets, this side. And I said, why don't I write a song for you and then I can mention Great Uncle Bulgaria and Tobermory and people like that. And they said, oh, that sounds like a good idea. So I did it, and then I couldn't get the attention of my record company, who just thought it was a side project, like a TV thing.
Yeah.
So I rang up my mum, who was very good at making costumes. I said, Mum, do you think you can make me a Womble costume? Because record companies want to see the artist, and they want to know... They say, I worked with the artist, you know.
Yeah.
And so my mum made me a costume out of really things round the house. She actually got Wombly things, like a ping-pong ball for the nose. I don't want to give away too many secrets.
Trade secrets,
because the Wombles we've got here are real Wombles. They're not in costume.
Of course, absolutely.
But the ones that were in costumes had like a washing-up mat for the nose and that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, that was what it was. And that's how it all started. And suddenly I had a hit as a Womble. I thought, well, I must have another hit, because I'd already promised myself I would follow up. And then we had Remember You're a Womble, and then we thought, oh, we'll have another one, Banana Rock. And that, happily, all happened at the same time. And instead of dropping out of the charts, they kept in the charts. And so, weirdly, we had 3 in there at the same time.
I think the really interesting thing, though, is you saw the advertisement in the NME. You were, like, 18 at the time. You wrote the song, but instead of taking the £200, you wanted the rights.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I could have...
clever.
I could have done with that £200.
Of course.
In 1974, £200 was what, £2,000?
A
Decent
lot
bit
of
of money.
Yeah,
and 18.
I said, I'll tell you what, why don't you give me the character rights for musical purposes? Not everything, not the books or, you know, and underlying character rights, but let me have the character rights for entertainment. And they said, fine, that's not in our business plan, you can have that, no problem. So that's how we then had the hit and the pop group. My mum made some more costumes, not just the one.
Yeah.
And off it went, and it seemed to take over the country, at least. Thankfully, not the world, because it means that in places other than Great Britain, I get to be called Mike Batt they've never heard of the Wombles.
They're not the Womblers.
Not
Yeah.
So
Well, it's an amazing thing because my first thing... Well, we loved the Wombles growing up.
Yeah,
but I was
for sure.
1974 was the year I was born, Mike. So
great.
it's my 50th, so I feel very connected to the Wombles. But my first experience was you guys performing, with Wombles performing a Christmas special on The Word.
Yeah, and I seem to remember, they told me you were in the audience, because I just heard that today, and I stage dived into the crowd, and instead of catching me and passing me round and putting me back on stage, they just parted
Everyone
like
got out of the way.
They
I
parted
remember
like
that
the
at the
Red
end.
Sea, and I just smashed onto the ground.
There you are, love.
That's me. And the This is 1994, so 30 years ago, Mike. It was a bit later. There's me, and I went with a few of my mates. We got some tickets to The Word, which was a big show at the time.
Yeah, it was a very cool show.
It was, hence me being very cool.
Of course, you're so
I mean, what
cool.
on earth was I thinking? Oik from Essex in a bandana, for heaven's sake. But it was the most amazing experience.
But you also performed at Glastonbury too, right?
We did. The last time, I was going to say, if these were costumed Wombles,
Yes.
the last time that the costumes would have been out would have been in 2011 when we did Glastonbury. We did a whole 1 hour live set, playing live, singing live, everything. Because on top of the pops, you had to mime.
Yes, of course.
But this was...
So you were playing and singing live as well?
Glastonbury, yeah. Yeah, and it was 82 degrees heat before you got your Womble costume on a sunny day.
Yeah.
And
absolutely boiling.
yeah, we had a great big fan that was...
Just to try and keep you alive. So you're releasing the album, The Wombles. It's a golden 50th anniversary celebration,
to
the remastered
celebrate
singles.
50 years.
There you go.
And it is out on Friday, that album.
It's like, I don't know whether they've got time for me to tell you, but the thing I've been doing at the moment is putting together to bed the edit of my book, which is weirdly, here's publishers for you. It's about my life and all the more serious stuff I've done, like,
Katie Mellower.
Yeah, 9 Million Bicycles and all that. But obviously a couple of chapters on the Wombles. And, of course, the publisher said to me, there must be a Womble on the front. But what we did, it was a sort of compromise with this one where you're not supposed to take your head off as a Womble.
No, of course
absolutely
not.
not allowed. But we did one backstage shot, which I did when I was 23 or something, in the old days. And I've got the head like this, and I'm looking at it, and it's me, and I'm looking at it as if to say, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
It's a bit Hamlet, isn't it?
Still there,
To be or not to be.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I think there's
is
the
Womble
Wombles.
okay?
The Wombles are getting ready.
He's still wombling. We're okay.
His back's gone.
Great Uncle Bulgaria's back's gone, yeah.
His back's gone.
So, are we going to have a bit of music then?
Yeah.
Because if we're going to have a bit of music, I feel
Are we
like
going to recreate my...
you might need a bandana.
My bandana.
You've got things
Because he
to
had a
wave.
bandana, and I think you might also need your waistcoat. Do you know how to tie a bandana?
I don't even remember. I don't even know how I tied it in the first place. This is me there.
Yeah.
With my bandana on.
OK, put your waistcoat on. Come on, get your guns
What's
out.
this festival gear?
This is what I was wearing that day, 1994, Mike.
Let's go back to the 90s.
Well, I know what I was wearing that day.
Yes, I know what you're wearing as well. Wombling costume. Time for a bit of music from the Wombles themselves. Orinoco, Wellington Bungo and Great Uncle Bulgaria are performing one of their biggest hits. This is the Wombling song.
Go get it.
Underground, overground, wombling free. The Wombles of Wimbledon Common are we, making good use of the things that we find, things that the everyday folks leave behind. Uncle Bulgaria, he can remember the days when he was behind the times, with his map of the world, pick up the papers and make them into something new. Is what we do. People don't notice us, they never see. Under their noses our Womble may be. Underground, overground, wombling free. The Wombles of Wimbledon Common are we.
Yay! Bravo, bravo, bravo. Hola, yesterdays.
Happy birthday to all the Wombles. Thank you for joining us, Mike.
Thank
So
you
nice.
very much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Absolutely brilliant.
I don't know why I stopped wearing a bandana.
Me either. I think you should wear it for the rest of the show.
Suits you.
Can
It
we
feels
cook
very...
in it? Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.